In this video, I want to show you how we can graph the zone flow through the season. And the reason this is important is to allow us to see how the flow trended through the season. Did that zone start losing flow, or did it, because of it plugging up, or did it start gaining pressure flow because of some potential leaks? So to do that, we have to export the data from the Galileo dashboard. Actually, we can log in and then go down to history. And we want to pull a report to get this data. Alright, so we're going to go in here and hit add a report. We're going to do just a static, a one-time report. We're going to report by cycle. And then we're just going to name it zone flow trend. Alright, and in the time, you can select whatever time chunk you want. I'm just going to do the current year, so every time it rained, it would pull that report. And we're going to have it do the program, the valve, and water data. You could also do fertilization if that's something you wanted to see as well. Let's save settings. So here we can see that report showed up. It's going to take a little bit of time for it to pull all that data together, but once it pulls it together, we can export it to Excel, and in Excel we can mess with that data and just map out what we want to see to get that seasonal trend. So once you export it, it'll download it to your PC, and we can pull that data up. Alright, so here's what the data looks like when you get it. There's a lot of extra stuff in here that we don't necessarily need. And we're just going to go ahead and delete that out. So I'm just going to go ahead and just delete the entire cell and rows. Okay, that just gives me to the data. So we don't need the end date. We do want the start date, the valve name, or actually just the valve number, the quantity done, and then as well as the average flow. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete the rest of these out here. This will just get us down to just the information that we need, so we don't have to work with as much stuff. So there again, we want the start date, the valve number, how much quantity was done, and the average flow. One problem we have with this data is the Galileo reports it as the day, month, year, whereas Excel looks at it as the day being, or the month being first, then the day, and then the year. It's got the timestamp afterwards. So what we have to do is take this data and tell it to look at it a little differently. So I'm going to go ahead and just select it all. And then we can come here to data, and then we're going to get the data from a table and range. And then I already had selected what we wanted to mess with. So it pulls up a Power Query, and so we're going to go here to the start date and right click on that. It's going to pull up a op menu here, and we want to go to change type, and then using locale. Alright, so the data type is date, time, date and time. And we want to tell this is something different than English in the United States. So if we go to English United Kingdom, here we can see the samples would be, here we have the day of the month, and then the month, year, and time. So that's how the values are. Hit OK. So then it goes ahead and transforms all that data to how we want it. So now we can hit close and load. Now we have all our transform data, so it's going to stick the day of the month first, and then for the month, and then the day of the year. I'm going to go ahead and just sort this from beginning at the oldest to the newest. I see I have a couple of 2024 dates in here. I'm going to go ahead and delete those out. We also want to delete any recorded flows where the zone maybe only ran for a really short amount of time, so that's going to give us some skewed data. That's why we say this quantity done row. So anything less than probably 10, I'm just going to go ahead and actually we're going to select so that we can delete it. Now I can just highlight this data, and also delete that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and select everything back. Okay, so here we have the cleaned up data. We've got a good timestamp, we've got the valve number, the quantity, and the flow when that zone ran. So now we're going to stick it into a graph. So the columns I want to see in the graph are my date, as well as the average flow. So once I highlight those, I can go over here and hit insert, and we're going to do a line graph. Okay, so this is looking at it, just is averaging all of the, putting all the zones together. What we're going to do is you can come over here and just select one zone at a time. So we're just going to hit zone 1. Okay, now we're just seeing all the data from zone 1. And you can see here we stayed fairly consistent, maybe trended up towards the end of the year. And then you can go through and just select the valve number you want to see to show up on that graph.